Hello and welcome to today's video. This time we're going through the final part of my Collins White Circle collection. This time it's the Wild West Westerns. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, yeehaw, as they say, and we start off with Wild West book number 1. Look at this, The Crow Flies West. It seems an absolutely gorgeous copy of this one. I got to admit, I don't know a lot about Westerns, I have to say, but I'm pretty sure we've got these all in order, and they go up to about number 80, something like that. Look at this, join the Wild West Club for the cream of Wild West fiction. Look at this, lovely, in a wrapper as well. And what's this? I actually do have this bookmark in my collection. I've got one of these already. Yeah, best reports of all the sports. So little news of the world bookmark. I will keep that separate for my little bookmark collection. Now this one is in a dust wrapper, and as we go along, a bit like the crime books, I'll just make a little note. This is number 101. They started the numbering at 101. God, it's nice, isn't it, with the illustrations as well. I'll list the printing for my own benefits. This is the 6th print, August 1936. What I'm doing as I go through these Collins books is creating my own bibliography. So that is very, very nice. Now, what we'll do, because this is in a wrapper, and a fair batch of them are in a wrapper until they stop doing it, I think we're going to brush them as we go along. And that way we'll keep on top of it. And I think we can probably do the whole run today, which would be fantastic, because this is the very last part of my Collins White Circle collection. We've done it all now. We've done this is 102. And another one. That is mad, isn't it? They must have put them inside all the original books, you know. That's very unusual to have two. They must have just done them. I think, because we've established that, and I've already got one, I'm going to keep that one with it. Just because I think that's actually how they were published. Because these are such beautiful copies. I mean, they're absolute minters. I lost my train of thought there now. But yeah, gorgeous. That is unread. That's absolutely unread. This is 102, 5th print, October 1936. So I'm keeping my own bibliography. There is one, and there was a Dragon Bee bibliography, and but it's quite outdated. It's like 40 years old. Most of the information in it, when I've gone to compare it, is correct, although there are obviously some anomalies which I've sort of noted. So I know my own sort of bibliography is as good as it's likely to get. And you see that there's like a little dust shadow there. You get that now and again, but that's really nice in a dust wrapper. This one also in a wrapper, number 103, Freewater Range. I wish I knew a bit more about... Look at it, there's another one. Yeah, they must have released them in these first few books. I wish I knew a bit more about the Western genre, really. I'm not an expert, but the ones I've read, I've really enjoyed. That sort of classic Westerns. I've read some Zane Grey and people like that. 103, this is a 6th print, August 1936. I've read some Zane Grey. Some of the bigger names I read a little bit of, and really enjoyed them, actually. The only thing that people comment on with Westerns these days is that they can be a little bit politically incorrect, just a little bit. That doesn't bother me. I always look at books like that in their own historical context. You've got to remember when these things were written, and times were massively different to what they are today, and you need to take that into consideration. Right, Hell and High Water, number 104. Look at that, another one, but much worse condition, this. So yeah, surprising that it's in this rough nick, yet it was in a dust wrapper. Look at that. Well, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Collins White Circles fall to bits on us, is it? That's actually got a bit of the back cover. I mean, that's weird that's in such a poor state, yet in such a beautiful dust wrapper. It's almost as if someone has swapped the book around to get like an earlier printing. That might have come from a reprint for all I know. This collection is that we're going through, like a lot of my recent Collins White Circle books, came from Eric Gadd, the noted paperback collector who recently passed away tail end of last year. And I was lucky to go along with Morris, and I got a lot of the sort of the pre-war stuff that perhaps wasn't Morris's, first cup of tea, but of massive interest to me. So this is the very sort of tail end of it. Obviously, we're still going through the Guild books from that collection, and we got probably another video or two to cover the Guild books. And we've also still got some Penguin videos still to come. So plenty still on the horizon. But yeah, there's that one. I think that's about as good as we're going to get that. I should have checked the printing before I glued it. So it's number 104. I'll put it as an upgrade required, although it is in a nice wrapper. So I'd be happy with a replacement copy of this one without a dust wrapper. But it would need to be, let's have a look if I can get into it. Here we are. It would need to be the fourth print, August 1936. So I think August 36 is when the first little batch of maybe 6 of these were published. And that would tie in with some of the crime series and the mystery that we've already looked at. So yeah, it's a copy, but it's not the greatest of copies. But at least it's there. And once again, it's got a bookmark in, which is absolutely mad. I never knew. But evidently, the News of the World newspaper paid to be included, Right, so I haven't got 105, that one's missing, but 106 is Thunder in the Dust, Alan LeMay. Morris did have a couple of these that he wanted. Look at that, another bookmark again. So the ones that I'm missing were probably the ones that Morris himself had, and has almost certainly already sold those on eBay. But that's okay. I will be able to find my own copies in the fullness of time. So 106, look at that bookmark again. 106, can't believe that. And that's a fourth print, August 1936 again. Yeah. So I think that rounded out the initial releases, the first 6. And then there was a little gap, I think probably to see how well the books were selling. And obviously we know the crime series was a massive success, wasn't it? But then a very slight change of design. So this is Two Gun Girl, which is 107. So the very next one, 107, a slight change in dust wrapper design. So these, I would say, probably came a little bit later. That's still a nice copy of that one. No bookmark this time. So 107. This is a 7th print, February 1937. So all we can do is assume that that's the first print, but the fact that it's in this one, and I haven't checked these against the bibliography from 40 years ago to see if it's correct or not, but I'm assuming that it is. So there's 107. Forgotten Hills. So this is 108, Robert Horton. I take the dust wrappers off before I give these the brush, you see. I don't want to brush the top end of the dust wrapper. It's another one which appears to me to be unread. 108. I love that little illustration at the front. They really are beautiful books, these. February 1937. What I'd really like is if someone's watching this and they're a bit of a Western aficionado, could you point out to me, out of the books that you see in this video, any that are particularly good reads? Because I'd like to try a couple, but it's just knowing where to start, really, isn't it? All right, Cattle Kingdom, number 109. Now this one's going to need a little bit of re-gluing by the look of it. Also in a dust wrapper. Now this one hasn't got its printing history inside. So they do that sometimes. So there's no printing history that I can see. Collins, you know, with war approaching, sometimes it got overlooked, but it's in keeping with the rest of them. So we're going to say it's probably February 1937. I need to get some glue in that trench there. That should be enough to seal that one in. See, because they've been in the dust wrappers, underneath, they're really nice and bright. And it's funny how, apart from Collins, other publishers did use the yellow colour to signify westerns, the same way that like Penguin and Collins used green for crime. It's funny that yellow seemed to be the colour for westerns. Anyway, that is Cattle Kingdom 109. Can't remember if I did the thingy. Oh yeah, it was undated, that one, wasn't it? Undated. Right, then we got The Man from the Desert, which is 110. Colt MacDonald. That's a Western name, whoever there was, isn't it? Another once again, absolutely beautiful, beautiful high-grade condition here. Lovely. 110. This one does have the printing. 5th print, April 37. That is an absolute beauty. God, when you think of its age, I mean, just incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, almost 90 years old, almost, as I film this. It certainly doesn't look like it's 90 years old, does it? Incredible. Right, Timber Trail. This is 110. Charles Wesley Saunders. Now this one's not in a dust wrapper. Ninth print, April 1937. I'll tell you what we haven't had so far. We haven't had any of these which have got like a price inside. It's almost like they were possibly from an owner from brand new even, you know? Who can tell? The Flaming Frontier. Hugh Pendexter. This one's in a wrapper. 113. It says 113 inside. A slightly different back now. They've added in the Crime Club, the Wild West Club, romance, mystery novels, and the John Galsworthy series. Once again, this one's in beautiful condition. Okay, so 113. 6th print, January 1938. Lovely. The Man from Michigan. No wrapper on this one. And that's got a big cross on the back there. It looks like it's in pencil. Yeah. So let's get that off. Yeah, it's a little bit more tanned and aged, this one. But 114, still absolutely fine with me. It's a 7th print, January 1938. Now, that's not the 7th time that book's been in paperback. That's just, it includes all the hardback printings before it was put into paperback. That's why these Collins ones are so difficult to collect unless you've got a checklist to work against for the printings. And that's why some people have ended up with reprints unknowingly, because they didn't realise that there was an earlier printing. Right, Hidden Blood, number 115. In a wrapper, but he's got a bit of staining, this particular one. The wrapper hasn't really looked after it as well as we might hope. An 8th print, January 1938. And obviously it'd be quite a good visual exercise, this, because as we get closer and closer to the Second World War, we see dust wrappers get stopped, for starters, and the books start to get thinner and thinner and thinner as paper rationing sort of kicks in. And I don't believe the Westerns come out the other side. It was one that didn't carry on, like the mysteries and the crime books did carry on. Right, Desperado. Great title. Number 116. Pretty nice copy of this one by the looks of it. A 7th printing, February 1938. Brilliant. Love them. Absolutely love them. I suppose the last time the Western novel had a huge revival was probably in the 1970s. But I know there are many series of Western books being printed today. And there are, sites devoted to them. There's lots of brand new Westerns being written by fans of the genre. I've not tried any of the really modern stuff. But this early sort of period does appeal to me, I've got to say. Right, 117, Restless Guns. This is a 6th print, March 1938. It's again a beautiful copy. Beautiful. So as I will be editing this one, I shall also be updating my bibliography as I go along. I do them by title, author, title, number, and printing, and if it's in a dust wrapper or not, or if it needs an upgrade or not. So quite comprehensive, and I check it against the earlier bibliography to see how it compares. The Trail of the Buzzard, 118. This again appears to be a beautiful copy. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, 118. It's a 9th print, March 1938. See, this is the first impression says October 1930. So evidently that was the start of a real, golden age for the Western novel, I think. And certainly in Britain, once TV became more popular, there was quite a few Western TV shows that started cropping up, and that gave the Western genre a huge boost as well. Six Gun Justice. I mean, it doesn't get much more classic than that, does it? It's awesome. This is number 119. That's a 7th print, April 1938. Now, I'm assuming that a lot of these authors were actually American, but I certainly don't know for sure. Did Collins have the opportunity to publish British authors who were established in the Western genre? I just don't know enough about them. Delighted to own them, but it's not an area that I'm any sort of expert in at all. But I can see the attraction. I really do enjoy them. Right, The Keeper of the Red Horse Pass, W.C. Tuttle. This is number 120. So we're about a quarter of the way there. There's about 180 to get through. This is a 9th print, April 1938. Another beautiful copy. Of course, the only other Collins Westerns you've already seen, because they were ones which were selected to be services editions, and have already covered those. The Girl of the Diamond A, R.A. Bennett. 121. A 12th print, April 1938. Lovely. Actually a little bit of it that's slightly coming away there, so I just spotted that. So let's slide a bit of glue in that little trench there, just a bit required, I think. My cool bookbinders glue. I'll sort that a little bit out. Lots of people still ask, what glue do I use, and that's it's always all the glues that I use are in the description down below. The Man Branders, F.C. Robertson. No dust wrapper on this one. Number 122. It's a 10th print from May 1938. Lovely, going to start a second pile over there now. Cavalier of the West. Okay, this is number 124 in a wrapper. This one's also got a card in, but what is this card? The Pall Mall Building Society, security comes first. So I would suspect that was popped inside there as an advertising insert. So number 124, 5th print, June 1938. And Collins, like a lot of the publishers, Penguin included, Hutchinson and that, did not mind sticking the odd advert in. And they actually started, inserts, and they started putting them in full page ads. They started advertising on the back cover, which we will see as we go along. It's quite a funny little tradition, really, that started. What a mess we're making. And in fact, the very next one has got an advert on the back for Bravington's, which was a popular advertiser of the time. This is number 127, and this is a definite second-hand copy. So we'll go through, but it's got a second-hand price inside. 127. It's a 9th print from January 1939. Looks as if that was bought from a second-hand bookshop of some sort. The Well-Wisher. Yeah, a little bit of wear on that one, but evidently not as fresh and nice as some of the ones we've seen today. Okay, that's lovely. This one's quite grubby. Number 128. It's actually 128 on the spine now. No dust wrapper. Definitely a little bit the worse for wear. This one's got a little 10p on the inside here, which we'll get out, and the spine's coming away. So this one very much lets the side down compared to the other ones in the collection. So I think I'll probably put this one on the upgrade list. But for now, we shall record it. Number 1, what was it? 128, yeah. And it's a 5th print from February 1939. Yeah, very dusty, this one. Now we need to get the glue in there. It's very much come away. Not completely, but it is coming away, so we're going to need to be fairly generous. Right, I think time we squish that in, that should do the trick. Yeah. Yeah, not a great copy, that one. Very grubby. But okay as a filler, because it's not like these turn up every day. Look at this, the Wild West Club, a guarantee of a clean, open-air story. Well, that's what we need, isn't it? A clean, open-air story. Right, Bandits of the Barrens, number 129. Back to another beautiful copy, by the look of it. So it's really, really tight. I'd say almost as good as it gets, that one, by the look of it. Yeah, 129. A 3rd print from March 1939. Yeah, I'd say that was mint, or as good as you're likely to ever find a book from this era. $130, another one in a dust wrapper. Once again, I suspect never been read. A 6th print, April 1939. Tiny little bit of the dust wrapper coming away there, so I need to be a little bit careful with that one. Okay, 131, Crooked Trails. Another one that seems in really nice condition. Yeah, 7th print, June 39. I don't think that's ever been read. It's just so beautiful and nice and tip-top. In a perfect unbroken spine. Just gorgeous. Hard to go wrong with some of these, to be honest. They're just so nice. Another one by Saunders, Fugitive, 133. So we haven't got 132, but we've got 133. Also in a dust wrapper, also tip-top shape. There we are, 7th print, August 1939. Another beauty. this one's not in a wrapper. It's 134, the very next one. And it may be that that was our last wrappered one. I don't know for sure. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, 134. A 10th print, January 1940. And if these books follow the same as the White Circle Crime, it may be a period where they don't even put the date in. So we're going almost like on intuition alone, and the books around it. 135, The Six-Shooter Kid. That's come right away. So let's do the edges first before we reglue it. And we've seen that before, haven't we, with Collins? So 135, Six-Shooter Kid, a 10th print, February 1940. But it should be all right. We can glue this back in without too much trouble. There we are, that's number 135. So we're getting through these quite quickly. That's all right, just under halfway now. Okay, 136, Roman Holiday. Once again, no dust wrapper on this one. I suspect, looking at the pile to my left here, that they've already been dropped. 4th print, March 1940. Apart from that, a lovely copy. (137) Roaring Lead. Yeah, that's a 5th print from May 1940. All got a little bit of dust on them, these. 138, The Fight for River Range. Beautiful, unread. Very, very nice indeed. A 5th from March 1940. Very, very nice. 139, Winged Bullets. A 5th, February 1940. I suspect that that one may have been re-glued at some point. A bit like we've had to re-glue some, but it's still in very nice shape. Just I suspect it's been re-glued by somebody. 140, Rustler's Roost. A 10th print, January 1940. A little bit grubby, but still absolutely fine. Juliacia. A hair cream. I don't know. Spooky Riders. 141. Look at that, it's just come away. You could sort of feel it in your hand. Right, let's brush it. It's not too dusty. So 141, it's a 10th print from April 1940. And another one for re-gluing. There we go. There we go. That should be good enough. I wonder if that's a scarce like supernatural Western crossover. Spooky Riders. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Right. 142, Hair Triggers. Wow, that's a cool title, isn't it? A little bit of detachment at the bottom of the spine. For 142, it's a 5th print, April 1940. You are going to need to get a little dribble of glue in there. Not a lot, but a bit. Yeah, I love the title. Hair Triggers. Awesome. Very, very nice. That was number 142. Now, 143, they start to get slightly thinner from what I can see. We start to see the first real signs of wartime conditions. 143. Yep, no printing history either. So they've dropped the page which had what print it was, which makes identifying these even harder because they are undated, just like they did with the crime books of the period. So you're left guessing, basically. This is a case where the glue is just disintegrated on us. These things happen. There we are. Yeah. It's like putting a band-aid on it, but that's all we can really do. But yeah, this is the first one, numbered 143, but no date. And that was not uncommon for the Collins books of this time. They just, thought we didn't need to have that bit of information. Why waste a page, Right, next we've got Bannister of Marble Range. Nice copy of that one by the looks of it. Yeah, 144. A 9th print, January 41. So, back to putting a printing history in on that one. It is an anomalous publisher, this. They do leave us collectors guessing years later. Ghost Town Gold. 145. Fourth print, February 41. So again, it's got that slight shadow on it, but that's okay. Okay, Roundup and Trail. This is number 146. A 3rd print, February 41. Look at that, it's just dying to come away. We'll just leave it like that and put some glue in. It's just like over the decades, the glue has just aged. Nothing we can really do about it except re-glue it with our bookbinder's glue. But that's why we've got it. Did I do the date on this? I can't remember. Yeah, third print, February 41. That's number 146. Should hold it in place. 147, Horseshoe Luck. Seventh March 1941. This one has got a little bit of pencil in. 25p. Can't remember if I gave this one a brush or not, so I'm going to just do it again. Yeah, I think I must have, yeah. Okay. 148, Hard-Balled Sperling. Yeah, 148. A 6 print, March 1941. So we're well into the war years now. And things are getting harder and harder as we go along for publishers in the UK. Restless Riders, 149. Fourth print, April 41. Once again, a few dust shadows on this one. You can see down there and there. So you can imagine you had another book like that. It would have been in a pile like that, and it's left that pile of dust there. Weird, and it's like a ghost from the past. That's 149. Right, 150, Red Rider of Smoky Range. Fourth print, April 1941. Another nice copy. Need to move these along a little bit. There we are. Rocky Roads, 151. This is a little bit more low grade. A little bit coming away at the bottom of the spine, which we'll re-glue. A third print, May 1941 again. Yeah, it's a bit rough and ready, this one. But we'll, rather than take the whole thing to bits, I'll slide some glue in. And that hopefully will be enough. Get rid of that a little bit. Nothing too fancy, just enough to sort of sort that little end out. There we are, that's good. It's like the glue in certain circumstances and conditions, it just dries up and falls to bits, it hardens, and then you're really struggling. Okay, 152, Vengeance Trail. Fourth print from May 41. This one's got a very obvious £1.50 inside. 152, fourth print, May 41 again. I look forward to the day when I eventually get round to bagging the rest of the Collins collection. O'Malley in the Saddle, 153. Fourth print, June 1941. Obviously from a dealer. It says it was in VG condition. Well, I suppose it is, you know. Don't know which dealer that was that had those, but their annotations are removed. So again, a tiny bit of glue required, I think. We can get some out. Here we go. A little bit down the bottom as well, actually. It hadn't completely come away, but it was coming away, let's put it that way. Lovely. Right, The Man from Peace River, 154. Another one with a bad spine. Fourth, was that June 41? Yeah, fourth print from June 1941. Little 10p in pencil, which we can get out, but not the pen. Getting quite near the end of the glue now, but I've got another one on standby. Should be all right. I would hope we'd be okay for this video, but maybe not. Yes, come out, come out. Here we are. There we go. Save that one. Lovely. 154. 155, The Last Bullet. Another great title. This one's another one with a spine that's coming away, just about. I noticed with interest that this one's got a much later 9p sticker on the over the logo there. $155. I don't know if I did the date. Third print, July 41. Just waiting for it to get down. We're at the end of the roll, guys. End of the jar. What a noise. But that's okay. I do have a follow-up pack, and that, you could say, although that costs about £8 or £9 for the entire thing, I think it is worth it. It really has paid for itself, much better than using blue tack, which is more of a mess. Right, 156 is a bit of a thinner one, The Riding Fool. This is wartime standard, as you can see. And no printing history. Straight into it, thin margins. Very much a wartime book, this one. Still very nice. It's really nice, that, yeah. 157, similar vein, wartime one. No printing history. Why waste a page? But you're looking at 1942 for these, I believe. All these 42 to 45, I think. But yeah, no date on that one. Undated. 158, The Boss of the 10 Mile Basin. This one's another one with a dodgy spine. Yep, undated, that one again. Yeah, just coming away. It's maybe the last hurrah for our glue. Well, here we go. Pin Flare, a brand new one. I don't suppose the nozzle will stay that clean for long, but we'll see how we get on. Just have to keep wiping it with your finger. That seems to be the only way to keep it clean. There we are. So that was 158. 159. Mournful Rides Again. Yeah, 159, it says circa 1944. I would be more tempted to say it was probably 1943, 42 to 43, and not 1944 just yet. But once again, it's one of those ones, it is wartime, and it's not dated at all. So it is what it is. There we are, it says 159. Pull over a next wedge here. A couple of these are bagged up because they were ones I had in my collection already. 160, I don't know if we've got any doubles. We may have a couple of odd doubles, which would be cool. 160. This says all is stamped, look. Winter Quarter, Ascot, Audley Room, 2nd of August 1943. So that's where this one's come from. Although I don't think there's any publishing dates in it. No, no publishing dates. But it is around that. That's what I thought. It was around more like 1943, not 1944, which whoever sold that other book was thinking. 161, Riding into Danger, and we are very much getting into lower quality books now, and it's only because of the wartime conditions. Yeah, no dates on that one. But that's about as best we can do cleaning them wise. This one looks like a bit of a dog. 162. Marauders of the Mesa. So this is quite worn. So I'm going to put this one down as an upgrade. Number 162. Ranger Lee. Not dated, just, you know, a lowish grade copy. But better than no copy. Which is how I look at these things. Right, some glue required. Some tactical gluing in here. Okay. That's lovely. Not a great copy, but definitely 162, definitely one to put on my upgrade list as well, because that is pretty much fallen to bits. 163, very, very rolled, this one. Another one which is probably, yeah, another one which is going to have to be on the upgrade list. Let's give it the wipe first. Yes, 163. Pretty low grade, you could say. No dates on it. Let's put some glue down the inner spine here. Yeah, it's got a massive spine roll on it. So once again, I'm going to put this on as an upgrade. 163. Limber Leg of the Lazy Y. Mason McRae. Who knows if that is a classic or not. Got a severe spine roll on it, which I'm trying to sort out, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Right. Up from Texas, number 164. This looks much better quality. Yep, no dates. That's as good as you're likely to get with this period in White Circle history. Lovely. 164. 165, another quite bright one by the look of it. Yeah, Bounty Guns. Yeah, no dates on any of these. They're it's just that wartime period. Why waste a page given the printing history? It's not going to serve anyone, is it? 166 Shotgun Gold. This one's a little bit more worn. Yeah, worn, aged, and tatty. No date on it. A very mediocre copy, so once again I'll put that as a possible upgrade. It's all there, it's just, not the greatest of copies. Similar to this, 167 Greener Grows the Grass. It's just been read many times, which is what happens with westerns. Very much like the crime, any genre fiction tends to get read and reread. People get mad on it. So yeah, 167, and I'll put that as an upgrade as well. Yeah, no printing history, just a very low grade copy. 168 Gauntlet of Fire. Stanton inside, let's get rid of that. Gauntlets of Fire, yep, no date on it. Slightly coming away, so we'll just get a slither of glue down there. Be interesting to see how long this particular glue lasts with the really thin tip, because last time the tip got blocked and the only thing I could do was cut the end off with a razor to get it flowing again. But we will see. It's got a 6 on the front there, but I don't think I can take it off. No, not without really sort of damaging the book, so we don't want to do that. So it was 168. 169 Trail Boss. Paper used on these now is very inferior compared to what came before. Only to be expected, of course. Can't remember if I gave that one a brush as well. Yeah, I did. Lovely. What a mess. Right, so the last little wedge of these to finish out the video. So 170 Brave in the Saddle. A little 10p in there. So again, these are all wartime ones, so they're not dated, but we know it's sort of 1943, 1944 sort of period, there or thereabouts. I think come the end they'll be up to about 1945. That was 170 with no date on that one. This is 171. This is quite nice and bright. It's very nice for its age. Very nice indeed, that. Eric paid all of £1 for it. I mean, that's unread, that one. That is beautiful. Beautiful condition. Considering it's a wartime one, that's really something, that. If only they were all like that. That's what we have to say. For a book that was published during the war, that's exceptional. That really is incredible condition, that one. Useless Cowboy 172. That would be me. I'd be a useless cowboy, I tell you. A little 20p in. Right, 173. The Valley of Vanishing Herds. Sounds like a bit of a mystery, doesn't it? Title again. Yeah, and absolutely no dates at all on that. So looking ahead for the next few weeks, 174. We've got a Penguin video next week. So it's either going to be the last 100 to do my main series. So 2000, main series 2,900 to 3,000. Be really, really good to get those finally done. Or it's going to be Peregrine books. Now, there's so many of them. That may have to be into 2 videos. And I've also got Penguin poetry to do as well, which I think will be 1 video, but I'm not sure. This is number 175. We've also got more Guild books to do, and we've also got the 1970s Penguins to go through. So still quite a bit on the old horizon to do before we've done it all. And then we're going to really need to knuckle down and do some bagging, as long as I've got bags to use. Right, so 175, no date in that one. .176, this is very, very grubby. It's just been read, so it's just a very, very grubby sort of a copy, that one, as you can see. Yes, decidedly not very nice, that one. A little bit coming off the end of the spine there. Okay. Right, this next one, 177, is actually bagged up. This is one that I had in my collection already, before the big collection that I got last December. So I'm assuming that this one's been cleaned. I'll just give it a... Okay. And then, yeah, we got a duplicate of it. This one is got a bit more of a spine roll to it, this copy. but is a lot brighter by the look of it. We'll do a bit of a side by side. You see, that was my original one, that's the new one. I mean, there really is no comparison, although it's got a spine roll. That's the one I'm going to keep. And since we've got a bag for it, I might as well stick it in this bag here. We know it's undated, but that'll be one less to bag when we get around it. It does really give them nice protection, doesn't it? And I think they deserve it. Right, Rustlers on the Loose, 178. Beautiful, yeah. Very nice. Undated. The Silver Train, 179, Ranger Lee. Do you see lots of the same names coming up again and again, don't we? Lovely. 180, Get Lee's Gold. Few pencil marks on the front, which we shall tackle as best we can. There we are, 180. Lovely. Desperados of Diablo. Wow, 181. What a title. Yeah. Needs just a little bit of re-gluing at the top there. Well, I hope you have enjoyed these Westerns. It's something a little bit different. I don't have many Westerns in my collection. So this was the very last hurrah of my Collins White Circle, and they are lovely, I've got to say. I mean, the early ones are just outstanding, aren't they? These later ones, they are what they are. They are historical artifacts. I'm just glad to have any of them, really. 182. Some are most definitely better than others. There's 60p. You know, condition-wise. Well, first sticker we've had to remove today, isn't it? Evidently this was from a second-hand shop, I would think. This is 182, yeah, Stagline Feud. No change in format. None of them are dated anymore. So I'm assuming, but I doubt they would have had reprints, not during the war like this. But I believe the period we're looking at now is 44, 45. Very much towards the very end of the run. 183. Yeah. And the books just are historical artifacts in a funny sort of way. They're as good as they're ever going to get. 183. This is 184, bought with a gun. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed looking through these today. Don't forget, I've got more cleaning videos on my main channel, as well as other book videos on paperbacks, if that's what interests you. Look out for my monthly pickup videos. They've all got cleaning action in. 184, there it is. And this one is in a bag, so 185, so I suspect this is a double. If you like these sorts of videos, do please hit the subscribe button. There we are. There we are, that's fine. At the moment, I'm able to do one cleaning video a week at the moment. Now here's another copy of Roaring 60s. I would say it's lesser grade than the one we've just done. This is slightly worse than the one I already had, so I shall just be keeping the one I've already got, even though the cover is not quite in the best of sorts. Yeah, if you look at the cover on this one, it's not quite in bright. It's been re-glued, but not by me, but it's not accurate. The gluing is out of place, unfortunately. It's been done in history, as it were. So that one I'm going to keep, and that one is going to be 185. That's going to be a spare. Then the last one is The Outlaws of Opera Creek, 186. So whether this was the very last Western, I honestly don't know. It's also got that Browser's 60p sticker in. But whether this was the very last Western that Collins produced, or if they went on further into the 50s, I don't know. It may be, you know, at the end of the war they just had to give up. Like, they definitely carried on with the crime, of course, and the crime ended up in, well, the whole list eventually became Fontana, didn't it? And that's what Collins became, White Circle. So you will be aware of the Fontana imprint, and that was basically Collins's paperback imprint when they wrapped up the White Circle. There we are. Not ideal, but it's better than it falling off. Bit of a shame that it's the last one, which might be the last one, is a little bit low grade, but we'll take it. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please give it the thumbs up. If you've not already, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video. And I shall be back next week with a Penguin related one, either main series, Peregrine, or poetry. That's what we got on the hit list next. And I'll see you then. Bye.